Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Speeding Bullets Batman. This is essentially a Batman-Superman hybrid from an Elseworlds story called Speeding Bullets. It's a what-if story if Thomas and Martha Wayne found Kal-El. They got gunned down in the alley, and then he became Batman, but he had the powers of Superman, just to sum it up. I haven't read that book in over 20 years. I actually have the book, and I better believe I'll be reading that the next couple days. I remember the story even led to a Lex Luthor and Joker hybrid. That could also make a really cool figure. So let's go check out the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse Batman. Here he is in the package. He has a flight stand, collector's card, and then 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands. One side of the package, Batman from Superman Speeding Bullets. Other side simply says Batman. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode, in case that helps anybody. And the back side, here's the figure posed up. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And I did get 2 of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, and one to keep unopened in my complete Batman-related unopened action figure collection. So I got 2 sets of the bundle from the McFarlane toy store. Now, the one drawback to ordering from McFarlane is you don't have to pay shipping, but you get the figures a little bit earlier. If you order from somewhere else, like Amazon or Big Bad Toy Store, you can potentially get free shipping. I got these guys in the bundle, so there was a little discount there. I had a coupon code, a little more discount there. And honestly, the final price here was still a little bit less than retail, even including their shipping. So, from that point of view, worked out pretty good. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He comes with a flight stand, collector's card, and 2 alternate hands. Before we take a look at those accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Batman from the graphic novel Speeding Bullets. It's an Elseworlds story. This Batman is not Bruce Wayne. This is Kal-El, or Clark Kent, under the mask. It's a weird what-if story. Basically, Kal-El landed in Gotham, was raised by Thomas and Martha Wayne, became Batman with superpowers. This is a graphic novel that I had as a kid, and I think the one I own today is the same one from when I was a kid. So let's take a look at him. Biggest difference here, his face is completely covered. Kind of has a Batman Beyond-esque feel to it. It's done in the light blue. It looks good. I like it. Kind of like a ninja Batman. Bat symbol here, but it's done in the Superman triangle instead of the oval. Utility belt, black trunks. He's got this sort of texturing and pattern all over him. It's from the source material. We'll check that out shortly. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Cape looks good, kind of bunched up. Overall, I like it. I like getting all these older comic stuff. Azrael, Parallax, Speeding Bullets, McFarlane, keep cranking them out. Elseworlds is right up their alley. I expect to get a Vampire Batman in the near future. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. I do like what they've done here. Pretty nice design. I did want to point out, I think it looks a little bit weird where the cowl meets the cape area. It's not too bad, but at first I thought the head and neck was one solid piece, but it's sure not. Just looks a little bit off there. Now I wanted to look at the comic. DC, it's an Elseworlds comic. Superman, Speeding Bullets. It still has a price tag, $2.48 from Half Price Books. I think it's the same issue I had as a kid. You can see Batman on the front here. As you open it up, I like the artwork. Very 90s. Let's see a picture of Batman here. There we go. You can see Batman here. He's got that sort of texturing and pattern, padded, a little bit armored suit. Looks pretty cool. And if we go further into the issue, This is what I was talking about. That Joker Luthor hybrid. I mean, look at that. A fat, bald Joker. That would be really cool. Now let's take a look at his accessories. And let's start off with the display stand. Here's the display stand. It comes in two pieces. You can use the base by itself as a regular stand, or you can attach the second piece and have a flight stand. The bottom is a perfect circle. It says DC. It's got one peg for the pegals on his feet. Then you attach this post at the top. It's got this clamp. It can rotate. It's also hinged, and it can hold your figure in several different ways. Very appropriate for Batman with Superman powers. And just an example of Batman utilizing the flight stand. Now let's take a look at his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of the Speeding Bullets Batman figure standing there. Batman from Superman Speeding Bullets. On the backside, there is a description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. Now let's take a look at his hands. He has 4 hands, 2 pair, 1 fisted pair, and 1 open pair. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. And here he is with his other pair of hands. These are his open hands. They should be good for grabbing, holding, or throwing. So I was wondering if I'd be able to use the Speeding Bullets Batman's fists with the Year 2 Batman. Year 2 Batman has these awkward open hands and no proper fists. But if you look at the shade of blue, there's no way that's going to work. Now they've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories. Now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing at about 7.1 inches tall, which can translate to about 18 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side, although it's very tight. It can up about that far, down about that far, not bad. Can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes out a little bit more than 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest, increasing the range of motion and covering up that gap. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows, and then his wrist here, done in the new style, not those ugly ball joints, can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Ball joint his torso, rotate around, forward and back, another ball joint in his waist, rotate around, forward and back, giving him a very wide range of motion in his torso area, especially in the waist. Legs, complete as a splits, not a ball joint, but a similar type concept. Rotation, non-existent. They go forward about that far, back, not much. Double jointed knees below that. Then his ankle here, forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock, and to articulation. Here's this Batman sitting at the back computer. Here's a look at the Speeding Bullets Batman hovering above the skies of Gotham. Here he is, getting angry, using his heat vision, pointing down below. Imagine being a thug in Gotham, doing a small robbery on a fire escape here. You really don't have any chance versus a normal Batman, but then you have Superman in a Batman costume. I feel sorry for these thugs. Now let's check them out, next to some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here's the Speeding Bullets Batman, next to the Red Sun Superman. Red Sun is another Elseworlds story. What if Kal-El had landed in Russia instead of the US? These are the only 2 Elseworlds figures McFarlane has made so far, but I say bring them on. And in case you were curious which parts you could switch, here are all the different light blue Batman figures they've made. Year 2 Batman, and Detective Comics 1000 Batman. And unfortunately, it looks like all 3 of these figures have a pretty different shade of blue, so part swapping would require painting. This Speeding Bullets Batman is essentially a cross between Batman and Superman. Here are 2 classic versions, put them together, and this is what you get. Here he is, next to a bunch of other Superman figures. Then, next to a bunch of other Batman figures. These are all based off the comics. And here he is, next to a bunch of other Batman figures. These are also from the comics. You can see he's not too tall like the 3 Jokers Batman or the Hush Batman. He's not too short like the Rebirth Batman. He's just about right. And now, next to some more Batman figures. These are from different various forms of media. Now McFarlane is no stranger to making a non-Bruce Wayne Batman. And in front of you are 5 different Batman figures, all with different identities under the cowl, none of which are Bruce Wayne. From left to right, we have Tim Fox, Thomas Wayne, Kal-El, Terry McGinnis, and Jean-Paul Valley. Now let's check them out. Next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here's the Speeding Bullets Batman next to Batrocidus. These are the two figures that came together for the McFarlane store in the same bundle. Here he is, next to the two most recent Mega figures, Bane and Necron. Here's this Batman, next to the Walmart exclusive gold label versions of Parallax Hal Jordan and Azrael in Batman armor. And here he is, next to the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold 2-pack. Then, with the Court of Owl's Talon and the Infinite Frontier Scarecrow, here's this Batman, next to the Future State Superman and the New 52 Static Shock. And here he is, next to the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive gold label paint variants of Red Hood and Scarecrow from Arkham Knight. Then, with the first series of Page Punchers, still need to find the black and white Black Adam. And now, next to the Black Adam movie wave, here's a Speeding Bullets Batman, next to the Blackest Night wave, collective build Atrocitus. Here he is, next to Martian Manhunter, both classic and rebirth. And here, next to the Target exclusive Crime Syndicate, Ultraman, Superwoman, and Owlman. Then, next to both versions of the Future State Dark Detective Batman. And here he is, next to all three versions of Lex Luthor in his power suit. Then, next to Duke Thomas from Tales from the Dark Multiverse, and the Batman Who Laughs, dressed as Batman. And finally, here he is, next to both versions of the Zur-En-Arrh Batman, and all three variations of the Infinite Frontier Robin. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. And I'm going to include as many Batman and Superman figures as I can during these comparisons. Since we already checked him out next to a bunch of Batman and Superman McFarlane figures, here he is next to a bunch of other McFarlane toys. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to some more McFarlane toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, with some Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles Batman and Superman figures. And here he is, standing next to some NECA Batman and Superman figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 Collective Batman and Superman figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse Batman and Superman figures. And here he is, next to some Mafex Batman and Superman. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, it's a really cool figure. I never thought they would give us a Speeding Bullets Batman, especially with the trend they've been doing lately. Modern stuff, modern dark stuff, modern dark stuff, Dark Knight's Metal, etc. I really like seeing these 90s stories put into action figure form. I really hope we get a ton more stuff like this. I think Elseworlds is right up McFarlane's alley. They could do a fantastic thing with Monstrous Batman, Samurai Batman, Pirate Batman, all kind of stuff. This guy's articulation is everything you would expect from a McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. Sculpt and paint job are excellent. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's a guilty pleasure, enjoying this guy a lot. A Batman Superman hybrid. How can you go wrong? So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.